Shrimp in olive oil. Garlic, soft and fragrant. Bread nearby for soaking the oil. Olives waiting on the side. Set down hot, meant to be eaten right away, with a drink close by. Let's cook Gambas al Ajillo right here on Planet Pulutan. Tapas. Food that shows up with a drink. Small plates, served hot, eaten while they're ready. In Spanish bars and gatherings, Gambas al Ajillo is one of those dishes. Shrimp and garlic, cooked simply, arriving still sizzling in olive oil. It's food you eat right away, while the drink stays on the table and the conversation keeps going. Pulutan ba ka mo? You came to the right place. Let's cook. Let's start with the shrimp. Fresh, medium to large, with the head and shell on. If all you have is peeled frozen shrimp, that works as well. For the gambas, we're keeping it simple. Garlic, olive oil, a small pinch of dried chili flakes, or guindilla if you have it, salt, and fresh parsley. These are the core ingredients. Traditionally, a splash of manzanilla cherry is added at the end. Other versions use white wine, brandy, or even a squeeze of lemon. We'll stick to the classic base, and you can adjust from there. For the bread, just flour, water, yeast, and salt, plain and crusty, made to soak up the oil. And on the side, green olives, lemon peel, garlic, dried oregano or thyme, black pepper, and olive oil. We'll start with the bread. In a bowl, add 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon and a half of salt, and a teaspoon of instant yeast. Pour in about 1.25 cups of room temperature water, then mix until a rough, shaggy dough forms. Once everything is combined, cover the bowl and let the dough rest for about 1.5 to 2 hours. This gives the flour time to hydrate and the yeast time to work, improving both texture and flavor. While the dough rests, let's prepare the shrimp. To prepare the shrimp, start by removing the head. Using a pair of scissors, cut along the back of the shell, stopping just before the tail. Once the meat is exposed, look for the vein and gently pull it out. This is called deveining, done for a cleaner taste and a better looking shrimp. Gambas al Ajillo is served in different ways. Some versions leave the heads and shells on for full flavor and a more rustic feel. Others peel everything clean for easier dipping. For our version, the heads are removed and set aside to flavor the oil later. The shells stay on, cut open along the back to protect the shrimp as they cook and make them easier to peel and eat. Once prepped, set the shrimps on paper towels and refrigerate. This lets any remaining moisture drain off before cooking. Once the dough rested for about 1 to 2 hours, turn it out onto a lightly floured surface. Fold it once or twice, then shape it gently into a loose log, and let it rest again for about 30 to 45 minutes. While the dough rests for the second time, we make the aceitunas aliñadas. Lightly cracking the green olives helps them absorb the dressing. Crush a clove of garlic instead of mincing it so you get the full flavor without the raw, sharp bite. Using a vegetable peeler, peel the lemon without the pith, then cut it into strips. Add everything into a bowl with a dash of dried oregano, black pepper, and a drizzle of olive oil, just enough to bring it together. Set it aside at room temperature to absorb flavor while the dough finishes its rest. Once the dough's second rest is done, preheat the oven, or in our case, an air fryer with a bake function, to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Mist the loaf first for a crackly crust. Place the dough inside. Bake for about 10 minutes. Flip the loaf, then bake for another 10 or until the internal temperature reaches just over 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Remove from the oven and let it rest on a rack or board for at least 20 minutes before slicing, so the crumb can finish setting. Before we start cooking the shrimp, it helps to understand how tapas work in Spanish bars. Drinking culture is often linked to nightlife. In Spain, it grew out of everyday life. Wine and beer were part of meals and social time, sometimes even midday. Bars became places to stand, talk, and linger, where food wasn't meant to fill one belly, but to keep the rhythm of the drink. The word tapa comes from tapar, meaning to cover. One common explanation is that a small piece of food was placed over a glass. Over time, that simple habit became something people expected whenever they ordered a drink. Traditionally, tapas weren't full meals. You'd order a drink and one small dish, eat, talk, then decide what came next. This is why bar food stayed simple. Gambas al Ajillo comes from that rhythm. That steady flow of drink, small food, conversation, and movement sits at the center of Spanish bar culture, a way of staying together a little longer. Start by thinly slicing the garlic. Set the pan over low to medium heat and add the olive oil. Once it's warm, add the shrimp heads and press them gently to flavor the oil. When they release their juices, remove them from the pan. Add the garlic and cook gently until golden, being careful not to burn it. Once the garlic turns light brown, raise the heat slightly and add the shrimp in a single layer. Immediately add salt and chili flakes to taste. Since shrimps cook fast, give them only about 30 seconds, then flip. As soon as the shrimps turn orange, take the pan off the heat. Garnish with chopped parsley and season with salt if needed. Shrimps at the center, served with sliced bread and aceitunas aliñadas on the side. Bread for the oil, olives between bites, everything within reach. And to our friends in Spain, salud. Thank you for joining us here on Planet Pulutan. See you on the next one.